All right, guys, we're looking at the Service Learning Concept Map assignment here, and this video will go over the assignment and how to best complete it while you're working at Arch for your service learning. This is not a group assignment, so even though you might be working in groups or small groups while you're at the project itself during your time, it is expected that you complete an individual concept map for your client. And even if you're collaborating with other students, working with similar clients, we would like to see your own individual work on this assignment. So for this assignment, you'll be creating a basic care plan for the client. As we talked about earlier, you'll be completing a health history focused assessment on the client during your time with them, and then formulating a care plan. When we click on the Service Learning Concept Map, you can see the preview here. If you'd like to download it, you use this arrow here to download it. Those of you that have a device that you're able to write on the screen, you're able to bring this electronically and write on it as you're completing it. As we look at the care plan here, or concept map, you have your potential complications, which is basically everything you clustered from the priority cues that you received, whether it be in the health history or the physical assessment that you completed. You're going to formulate a nursing diagnosis, short-term and long-term goal with interventions, including a rationale for your interventions. As we move over, on the second day, you'll be completing the evaluation portion. Same thing down here, we have a second nursing diagnosis, short-term, long-term goal, interventions with rationale, listing those rationales for sure there to get the full credit, and then the evaluation. The reason why this is due after the second day is because we want you to have a complete concept map before submitting. So this will be due on the second day of your service learning at Arch by 11:59 p.m. Here are the assignment instructions. During the service learning session, students may choose to obtain feedback from the instructor prior to submission. So if you're working on this and you'd say, hey, can you come take a look at this? Am I on the right track? We're happy to do that, okay? You are required to complete a concept map on your assigned client, and that will be submitted by 11:59 on the second day. Pay close attention to the rubric so that you make sure you get all the full credit for each of the sections. Points may be deducted for incomplete sections. Use the concept map template listed here and include the following patient information. And we kind of went over that already, but the nursing diagnosis, short-term, long-term goal, interventions, and evaluation. You could read through those again. This is worth 15 points, so you can see that here. You are going to submit it by a file upload. So basically you're going to scan it, take a picture with your phone, and then upload it into Canvas, which you guys did as practice with the syllabus quiz. And then here you can see the rubric here. So we want to make sure that we have complete a priority assessment and create 2 complete nursing diagnoses based on the client's problem list. So they must be complete. They must contain the problem label, the etiology, and the defining characteristics, which be your as evidenced by. If it's a risk for diagnosis, you wouldn't have the defining characteristics, but typically you're going to use actual nursing diagnoses when you're completing this assignment during that project. Then you're going to create a short and long-term goal for each nursing diagnosis, a minimum of 3 priority interventions with rationales. The key is rationales, guys. A lot of students leave the rationales off, and then they miss points for that. And then evaluation, complete an evaluative statement for each goal. And that's all worth 15. Okay, so it's a range, so you can get anywhere from 0 to 4, depending on how well you meet this. So if you have 2 complete nursing diagnoses, you've completed that priority assignment, then you're likely to get 4. Just say you only have 1 complete nursing diagnosis and your priority assessment, you might get 3. So it really just depends on where you are. A lot of these are worth about 2 points each, okay, because there's a short and long-term goal. Each one is worth 2 points. Okay, so let's go look at an example because I think it's helpful to see an example of the assignment. So if you look here, this is a example of just 1 nursing diagnosis, okay? So I met with my patient, I completed my health history and my focused assessment. The patient states that they have a history of sleep disturbances, they smoke a pack a day, and they have an open wound on the forearm. Based on those priority cues that I pulled out of the assessment, I have come up with a priority nursing diagnosis of impaired skin integrity related to poor skin condition and skin care as evidenced by open wound on the forearm. Now, I could make this a little bit better by even putting measurements if I was able to do that, but at Arch, some of those assessments are difficult because we don't have the supplies with us. So this would be a perfectly fine and accurate and complete nursing diagnosis. Okay, then I come to my short-term and long-term goal. I have a complete short-term goal. Patient will state 3 methods to promote wound healing and prevent skin breakdown after educational materials by whatever date. My long-term goal, patient's wound will be fully healed by the next visit on 2/23/23. And I just put a date there so you could see you really want to put dates there. And these would be considered complete. So I get my full credit on those. It contains all the parts of an outcome statement, if you remember those from class, okay? And then interventions with rationale, I need a minimum of 3. So I'm going to provide education to the client on proper wound care using soap and water and coverings, meaning maybe bandages or 4x4s or whatever you want to encourage them to use. My rationale is this will help to ensure that the patient knows how to best care for their current wound and prevent future wounds. Perfect, nice and complete. My second intervention, assess the current wound, including size, depth, odor, etc. for baseline data. My rationale, this will help to establish a baseline and determine if the wound has healed at the next visit. Perfect. Number 3, provide a demonstration of appropriate wound care and have the patient do a return demonstration. So this will help ensure that the patient can complete the wound care appropriately when at home. So these are all complete. I would get my full credit being 6 points for all of those. And then on my second visit on 2/23, I'm going to say that the goal was met. Patient was able to state 3 methods to promote wound healing and prevent future breakdown. So this goal is complete, this statement, and I would get my full credit for that. Goal partially met. The wound was smaller in size. However, it was not fully healed. We'll allow more time. That's a nice, complete evaluative statement. So this care plan right here, or concept map, would be full credit for just the one nursing diagnosis. And then for you guys, you're going to do a second one. So the second one should look just as good as this one, and then you will receive your full 15 points. Now, just say in the short-term goal, I forgot to put, a time frame. Whoops. I forgot to put a time frame, or I forgot to put, maybe I just said patient will have good skin care or something. It's not measurable. It doesn't have a time frame. I'd likely lose, 1 point or 2, depending on how much work needs to be included in that. And the faculty will give you feedback. So they might put a note that says, you have a good start here, but you're missing these 2 things. That is why I deducted a point. And you would know that, okay? So that's an example here. Going back to the assignment, you should have everything you need here. Everything should be open. The dates have been updated to reflect when they are due. And I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to email. Bye, guys.